Can I ask you something? How are you really? Not how's work going, not how's the business, not how's the family, but how are you? Because we're halfway through the year now, and sometimes when we get to this point, I start to think back at the things that I've either achieved or not at all. I start to wonder, where has the time gone? Because January feels like it was just around the corner. We were full of excitement. We had goals, plans, things that we want to achieve, places that we want to visit this year, and things that we want to do. We promised ourselves that this would be the year that we finally get to do the things that we've always wanted to. And then life happened. Work happened. Unexpected challenges happened. And maybe some are still waiting. If you've been feeling a little behind lately, I want to encourage you in this video today. Guess what? You still have 6 months. 6 months is actually a long time. And in 6 months, a lot of things can happen. Your life can completely change. And those plans can truly become a reality. This is not because things can happen overnight, but because small, consistent changes made regularly can have an impact on the things that you want to happen. If you've watched my last video about carrying yourself with grace and creating your own glow up from the inside out, I spoke about showing up for yourself and how you need to do that. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually too. And if you haven't watched it yet, I'll really encourage you to watch it after this video, because these two conversations go hand in hand. The first video is about becoming the woman you're proud to be, and this one is about what you do with the time that you have left for this year. One thing that people ask me often is, Sarah, how do you stay so organized? And honestly, I think that architecture has really helped me along the way, and it has shaped the way that I see life altogether. As architects, we don't just start building. We don't just turn up on site and hope for the best. Everything begins with a plan. We think months ahead, or even sometimes years ahead. We look at what can go wrong way before it even happens. We solve problems before anyone actually sees them. And somewhere along the way, I realized, why don't we actually plan our lives with the same amount of care? Why do we spend so much time designing beautiful spaces, but so little time designing a beautiful life? That question has stayed with me. Because if I can spend hours thinking about someone else's future, surely I can spend an hour or two thinking about my future too. So over the next 6 months, I want to encourage you to be intentional. Not busy, but intentional, because they're clearly not the same thing. Being busy can sometimes make us feel productive, but being intentional actually makes us feel as though we're moving towards the life that we actually want and that we are trying to create. So let me ask you another question. If we were to sit down together in the next 6 months from now, who would you like to be? Not how much money you would like to have or how many followers you would like to have. Those things might come, but I'm actually talking about what you want to have. Do you want to be healthier, more confident, be more organized? Would you like to feel as though you're actually enjoying your business rather than feeling as though you're trying to survive it? I actually think that that's one of the things that most women don't actually talk about, especially entrepreneurs and creatives. Sometimes we're so busy about building life that we actually forget to live it. Can I tell you something that I've been learning recently? You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to wait until everything is finished to enjoy your life. If you're anything like me, the to-do list actually never ends. There's always another email, another client, another project that needs your attention, another meeting, an invoice, an idea that you want to actually put on paper and one day make it become a reality. So if we keep telling ourselves, I'll rest when everything is done, we'll never actually get there. We'll never rest, and that's not the life that I want. I want to build a business, but I also want to build a beautiful life. A life where there's room for family, friends, laughter, because success without peace isn't success. One thing I've also started asking myself is, what matters today? Not this month, not this year, but today. Maybe today's priority is finishing a design proposal. Maybe it's spending time with your children. Maybe it's finally calling your parents, or simply getting to bed before midnight. Sometimes we make life feel so much more complicated when really and truly it's about making decisions one day at a time. And that is how momentum is built. Not by trying to change your whole life in an entire weekend, but by changing one habit, then another, and before you know it, you're becoming someone you never thought you were capable of becoming. I I think that that's one of the biggest lessons that architecture has taught me. Every beautiful building starts with one line on a piece of paper. Every dream starts with a decision. Every business starts with one client. And every healthy habit starts with one choice. So don't underestimate what the next 6 months will be, not because you're going to work yourself to the ground, but because you're going to become more intentional with the life that God has already given you. There's something else that I've realized over the years. Planning your life is one thing. However, looking after the woman that's building that life is completely different. And I think that that's where most of us actually struggle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe so that you do not miss on what else I've got to tell you, so that you can be fully prepared and encouraged for the 6 months ahead.